James, and this is assignment 5 for Introduction to Music Production. I am hailing live from Hiram, Georgia, not too far away from Atlanta, just so you can see where I am. And for this project, I am going to discuss the algorithmic reverb versus convolution reverb. Here I have a little ditty that I've sampled from the web. I've got a couple of samples from the web to put together, so let's take. Okay, and what I have here is a little snare pop, blues pop, a little organ, a little guitar, so guitar riffs, and a piano part. And what we're going to concentrate on here is the piano part in track number 5. What I have is a convolution reverb, and I have studio reverb, which is basically analog. Let's go over this one first. So analog reverb is more like synthesis in that it's an impression of a space using an algorithm or a mathematical representation to represent the space. There, as you can see, are a lot of areas where you can manipulate the sound of the space. And usually it uses early reflection or diffuse reverb, of which is not necessarily on this section. Well, actually, yes, here's some early reflection, the room size, the decay, and the width, and then there's also the diffusion. So let's listen to what it would sound like had we put the piano in a great hall. So we're going to solo the piano and take a listen. Okay, so it sounds like it's got a little bit of a little hallway to it, a little length in there. The early reflections are set at about 20%. The room size is set at about 70, and the diffusion about 70%. So let's see how it would sound if we were to put it into an outside club. Okay, so in this example, the high frequency cut most likely doesn't have any curtains in there, and the room size is very large, and the early reflections is also very large. Okay, so now let's take a look at if we were to utilize convolution reverb. Now the convolution reverb is like a sampler in that it is a recorded space, sound recorded in a real space, and applying it to the DAW. So when we take a look at, say, a smoky bar, the smoky bar was actually, the sound was actually recorded in the smoky bar, so it's like being in the real space. Let's take a listen. So the difference with convolution reverb is that there's an impulse response where it's applying the recorded space with a mathematical convolution. So in this instance, the living room is the impulse response. So let's listen to, say, a corner reverberation where the impulse response is a narrow spiral staircase. Okay, so that's an example of convolution reverb, and as far as a reflection, you will see that in the type after the link to the video. But thank you for listening to my video and reviewing on analog and convolution reverb.